If we did it, so can you. It's time to stop procrastinating and write your book now. Someone's destiny or deliverance is tied to your book. Don't keep them waiting. What if you could take charge of your publishing and then leverage your book to create financial freedom and leave a legacy? Wouldn't you want to find out just how to do that? Well, that's what this podcast is all about.
Hi, I'm Hennika Watkins, Porter, speaker, coach, author of Podcast Power, and the host of the Entrepreneurial You podcast, inviting you to listen to the Entrepreneur Secrets podcast, brought to you by C. Ruth Taylor, best-selling indie author and the Caribbean's most trusted voice on entrepreneurship. Tune in for inspiration, information, and innovation to write and win with books. Get ready to dominate entrepreneurship.
Greetings, entrepreneurs. Welcome to another episode of the Entrepreneur Secrets podcast. I'm your host, C. Ruth Taylor, and this is a program that gives you the roadmap to take charge of your publishing with stories and strategies to dominate entrepreneurship. Coming up in today's episode, I am going to be focusing primarily on our annual rocket writing competition and how you can write a nonfiction book in 24 hours or 30 days. And you are going to be listening to my audiobook, The Rocket Writer. The Rocket Writer is a free resource that tells my story of how I wrote 20 books in 1 year. And it is used to equip authors and encourage aspiring authors to write and to write faster than they think so that they can produce a small nonfiction book of 10 to 30,000 words, either within a literal 24 hours or over 30 days in terms of planning and working that out. And that's going to be the latest in my entrepreneurship venture as well. So it's going to be a little bit different. So you're getting a resource to win. That is something to equip you to win on your author journey. And you are going to be hearing the audiobook. The ebook, The Rocket Writer, is also free on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, you name it, wherever books are sold online, as it has been distributed through Drafted Digital. So I'd love to get your feedback on this episode. So stay tuned. But let's have a word from our sponsor, Bamboo Sparks.
Your book is the perfect spark to get the fire going in your personal life, career, business, or ministry. Light that book spark today with Bamboo Sparks, a global independent publishing services and publishing education and training business for transformation. Bamboo Sparks will take you from manuscript to market faster than you thought possible and even manage the process for you. Check out their 3 main offerings: the Self-Publishing Spark, the Rocket Writing Spark, and their Bamboo Sparks Done-For-You management deals for authors in the Caribbean and the diaspora. Discover how Bamboo Sparks can help you to publish and leverage your book to grow 90 feet tall at bamboosparks.com, and that's bamboo with a U.
All right, so every November is celebrated as NaNoWrimo month. That is National Novel Writing, where there's a quest and a competition where authors, a whole movement, seek to write a novel of at least 50,000 words during November. Now, I didn't know about NaNoWrimo when I started my Idea to Manuscript Challenge in November 2018. I started this challenge because a friend of mine encouraged me to teach what I was doing, and I wanted to decode my process to see if I could help others to replicate that process of writing fast. I wrote my first book in 11 days, over 68,000 words. And then when I started having this annual challenge that same year, November 2018, I went on to write faster. So that between 2018 and 2019, I had written 20 manuscripts. And the first in that series of rocket writing manuscripts was Authorpreneur Secrets, which was converted to this show and converted to a summit. And so in 2018, I started the Indie Authorpreneurs Facebook group, which is my personal author community, to help authors to publish on a budget, to write fast, and also to leverage books for greater impact and increased income. The group is 4 years old and we have almost 300 members. It's really focused on independent authors from the Caribbean and the diaspora, including the African diaspora, Latin America. And we're moving towards our Vision 2030, which is to have 10,000 published legacies or raise up 10,000 authorpreneurs. That is persons who will write and publish a book, but go beyond book sales to leverage the book to earn in other ways beyond book sales and to use that book as a platform for transformation. That's what it's all about. And every November, we have this big push to write that book, and then we ask you to post your daily word count, and there is a prize. The first person to complete their manuscript, that's the first draft that you're later going to revise, polish, and publish, and take your time to edit. If it's between 10,000 and 30,000 words, you would get a manuscript assessment, a structural edit, and a free consultation, publishing consultation session with me. You would also get a certificate. And whether you are the first to do it or not, once you achieve the word count of at least 10,000 words during the month, you would get your certificate, right? Your rocket writing certificate, once you have written at least 10,000 words, which is the equivalent of a small book, a small Kindle read, that kind of thing. So if you are thinking about writing a book and you need community support, I invite you to join the Indie Authorpreneurs Facebook group. I'll put a link to it in the show notes. I invite you to take this journey. If you don't know how to start, where to start, get the Rocket Writer, how to write a book in 24 hours, you can go to my website, extramileja.com, and sign up for it. And then you would also enter into my book writing tribe, where I send out weekly information to help you to win at life and to guide you on your authorship and publishing journey so that you can win. And those who also sign up for the ebook, you will also get access to the audiobook, which you're going to hear a portion of. The Rocket Writer: How to Write a Nonfiction Book in 24 Hours by C. Ruth Taylor. Copyright 2020 by C. Ruth Taylor. Read by the author, C. Ruth Taylor. Dedication: to the authors whose books will transform lives for generations. Introduction. Of making many books, there is no end. King Solomon, Book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12, verse 12. There's room for more. In case you're hesitant about writing and concerned about a glut of books on the market, have no fear. According to the wisest king who ever lived, Solomon, the writing of books will not cease. It's time for the Caribbean to become a mission force through writing. And since the writing of books will not cease, the need to publish will also not cease. With the development of electronic publishing and companies like Amazon, Lulu, and Smashwords or Drafted Digital, the doors to publishing are wide open. The gate to publishing has been unlocked, and the traditional publishers, who were almost like the sole gatekeepers, now have to contend with the rise of independent authors and publishers. Although traditional publishing still holds a prestigious status, many aspiring authors are not even looking that way. Not out of fear of rejection, but out of the need to control the publishing process and build their platform for impact and income at a faster pace. The challenge, however, is that many aspiring authors are still unfamiliar with the publishing process and clueless or reluctant about the marketing of books. Many are taken advantage of by some self-publishing companies. Some of these done-for-you self-publishing companies charge ridiculously high prices for simple services and operate with a semi-traditional publishing mentality. This means you pay for all the services while they, 1, still hold the intellectual property rights to your book for several years, and 2, limit where and how you can print and promote your book while they pay you a royalty fee. This kind of arrangement for me is untenable. If the publishing house is not alleviating any costs involved in the publishing process or contributing anything financially. If, as the author, you are paying for all the services, why restrict your printing and promotional platforms? My aim is to educate and empower authors in the Caribbean to write quality books, publish them affordably, and leverage their books for all their worth. For more information on how to leverage a book for maximum impact and income, get my book, Pen It to Win It, at extramileja8.com/Ruth's Bookshop, or listen to the audio on YouTube for free. I have found the words of Derek Bok painfully true. If you think education is expensive, try ignorance. On that note, I had a rocky start and paid the price of ignorance in the early days of publishing since 2014. I have been writing faster and studying the publishing industry to become a successful author who will raise up other authors and self-publishers from the Caribbean. In the process, I found some secrets to make life easier for independent authors from the Caribbean and other majority or third world countries to add their voice to the publishing industry without breaking the bank. Through the new writing and publishing models, you can gain a platform to launch, build or scale your business, career or ministry endeavors and become financially independent. If you are teachable and committed, you can become a successful independent author and publisher. In this book, I will share my writing process, which I now use to guide nonfiction authors in moving from idea to book faster than they thought possible. This book will help you to write a book that will transform lives, generate sustainable income for retirement, and leave a legacy for future generations. It's a companion to the Start Your Book Now course or the Rocket Writing Masterclass and Boot Camp. The rocket writing process helps authors to move from desire to done in 24 hours or 30 days with a nonfiction book of 10,000 to 50,000 words. It's time to write your winning nonfiction book faster than you thought possible. This has been replicated by other authors, and now it's time to finally write that book and stop procrastinating. Cheers to your writing and publishing dreams. Chapter 1: How I Became a Rocket Writer. It began with a heartbreak. In 2014, my engagement fell apart while preparing for the wedding to start a new life. Things fell apart after I had bought my wedding dress, booked the church for the wedding ceremony, the hotel for the wedding reception, selected bridesmaids, and made a deposit
on the wedding photography package. To say it was a huge embarrassment is an understatement. It became the dark night of my soul, and it threatened my very survival. But you know what they say? The darkest hour is just before dawn. And dawn did come in the most unexpected way. The dawn came one morning while praying when I got a revelatory insight, and it was a reminder not to waste my pain. While praying, I remembered a quote from a book I read as a teenager by noted author and theologian William Barclay. It said, "Endurance is not just the ability to bear a hard thing, but to turn it into glory." I knew then exactly how to turn it into glory. Writing. Thus, after 10 years of not believing I could write, when someone told me I could write, I penned my first book, Heartache Queen Unshackled. The manuscript or first draft of that book was completed in 11 days. Yes, you heard right. In 11 days, I wrote almost 68,000 words. So what changed after 10 years? I suddenly had a compelling reason to write, the confidence to do it, and I made the time to do it. In that season, I saw writing as a way to give me a fresh start, and I challenged myself to complete the manuscript before my 34th birthday as a gift to myself. 5 years later, to mark another milestone birthday, I challenged myself to write 20 new books in 1 year to celebrate my 40th birthday. This writing feat was accomplished. However, when I saw that I could not publish all 20 in time for my birthday, I settled for having 20 books published for 2020. Since I had already published 4 books, I only needed to publish 16 more. During the period of November 2018 to November 2019, using what I now call my rocket writing system, I found myself writing 2 to 3 nonfiction book manuscripts per week. In fact, one book from scratch took 11 hours. This, however, was a co-authored project. I think, too, that I was inspired by the 20 books to 50K movement founded by Michael Anderle. He discovered that if he had 20 fiction books selling for about $7.50 US per day, that he could earn US $50,000 a year to retire in Cabo. The truth is, retirement was also heavy in my mind, and I wanted to write and retire right by age 50. Although Anderle is primarily a fiction author, I decided to follow suit as a nonfiction author and merge this model with the book as a business card or funnel model. This model leverages the power of a book to create multiple income streams and activate persons for greater things. To meet this goal, having a catalog of 20 books published by 2020 as a 40th birthday gift to myself, I changed my strategy to write smaller books rather than the average 50 to 70,000 word standard nonfiction book. I decided to write a book of 10,000 to 30,000 words instead. I also decided to write a variety of nonfiction books to include a no-content book or journal and several workbooks. Since I knew my topics well, there was no need to do much research because I was writing from personal experience. My writing model is a blend of narrative nonfiction, memoir, and self-help. I teach people how to win at life using my life experiences and my skills. This helped me to get the content out faster once I had an outline. These first drafts would later be polished, beta read, or tested and published over several months. In the coming chapters, I will delve into this rocket writing process and expose you to my rocket writing system. Prior to this, I had begun to decode my previous system in writing my first 4 books and created the Idea to 30-Day Manuscript Challenge for my newly formed Indie Authorpreneurs Facebook group in November 2018. The challenge proved to be successful and confirmed that I had a system that could be replicated. The Idea to Manuscript 30-Day Challenge. Rachel Deal of The Balanced Careers defines a manuscript as follows. A manuscript is essentially the earliest draft of a book. It is the unpublished version of a book submitted to agents and editors for publication consideration. In book publishing, agents and editors will often refer to books in manuscript form, noting that the book is in the earliest stages of preparation. A book in manuscript form will always be needed to be edited, and sometimes once the editor has gone through it, it is sent back to the author for a rewrite. Either way, it will likely be sent back to you once it's been edited and proofread, so you can make the changes requested. Once it is deemed to be fully ready, it is then sent to the production side of the business, where it is prepped to be printed into an actual book. When I first decoded my writing fast system in November 2018 and created the Idea to Manuscript 30-Day Challenge, several persons started and later completed their manuscripts. One participant, Leah Stone Morrison, exceeded all the others. The challenge lit a fire in him, and he eventually completed 5 book manuscripts in 1 year and published 2 of them in that same year. He is now the author of Mind Renewal and the Mind Renewal Transformation Devotional Series. His manuscripts were between 30,000 and 50,000 words. Not only that, within 3 months of publishing his first book, Leo Stone made such a big return on his investment that his wife became a stay-at-home mom. He gave a percentage of his earnings to charity and rebuilt his depleted savings account. If we did it, so can you. It's time to stop procrastinating and write your book now. Someone's destiny or deliverance is tied to your book. Don't keep them waiting.
I trust that you found that reading insightful and helpful, and now you're excited to start planning your book or to write another book. And the Rocket Writer is our primary preparation document. And I'll be sending out emails to those who are on the email list, writing prep emails for the next 6 days as we get ready for that competition. Will you join us for the Rocket Writing Challenge for 2022 so that we can end this year strong? This is Ruth Taylor, encouraging you to go pen it to win it, take charge of your publishing, and dominate authorpreneurship. Ta for now, until next time.
I'm Tamara Francis, educator and editor. Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, and share the podcast with your network. If you'd like to increase your impact and income with books, visit authorpreneursecrets.com for more resources, including the books Pen It to Win It and Authorpreneur Secrets. Join the Authorpreneur Secrets Academy membership group for courses, coaching, and community support to write, publish, and win with books. Until next time, go pen it to win it.